Alrighty. That was Lady Poetic with Puppet Master here on KOPN 89.5 FM Columbia. In case you didn't know, that was the last unicorn. So,
Yes.
if you didn't know that, you're welcome. That's like a really great animated movie from, was it 90s or 80s?
80, I want to say 82 maybe.
82, yeah. So for young kids, just go watch it.
Absolutely.
Just go watch it. Okay, so we've been talking about, with Lady Poetic here, we've been talking about her music, we've been talking about her book, we've been talking about her medical career, and it's just to kind of show that, one, look at what we have local here in Columbia. We have a lot of great artists. My biggest thing with 5 Minute Showcase is always to be like, hey, we are more than just country and rock here in Missouri.
Oh, yes.
We have a ton of other genres that we are very good in. So, we've just been hanging out here. And one of the things I want to kind of jump back onto here, because we were talking about your book and we were talking about just kind of how burnout really affects those in the medical field and kind of just women in general. So speaking of, now women make up about half of U.S. medical school enrollees. Now, I don't want to get political, so I want to touch this topic without touching this topic. In the recent year, I think year and a half, there was some changes in funding as far as like nursing degrees or scheduling or the way they classified them. As far as like nursing degrees are now being capped at a lower amount, and so they're not being covered, I think, as far as financial assistance.
I don't know.
Oh, you haven't seen anything on that? You're
No.
like, I have no idea. Okay, that's totally fine. I was like, I don't want to get into it too much because it does start to lend into political things, and it's not a political show. I mean, it is, but it is. Well, hold on. I'm totally flipping on myself right here. It is and it isn't. I am not a overly political. We're going to jump on that. That's just not my realm of expertise. I have thoughts, and that's about it. But that's just something that I had, as far as the more recent what's happened in the medical field outside of just COVID completely throwing everything out of whack. Because I would agree with that 100%. COVID just did a number on you guys.
Yeah,
and
it did.
I mean, it only helped in that it gave people options to phone their doctor. Gave them that option.
It did. That.
Outside of that, like, all the care was limited, and just not, you guys, it did not seem like you guys were able to act on more of a Hippocratic Oath side of things. If that's still a thing. I don't believe that's changed, but I could be wrong. So do you have any thoughts as far as women in medicine? What have you seen? For you yourself, you seem to be very successful in your position and what you're doing. You're like, I'm right where I need to be. Do you feel like it's been a little bit harder as a woman to kind of get where you need to be versus your male counterparts?
Perhaps, but I would never let that deter me or be an obstacle for me or necessarily let it be a focus or a driving force or a deterrent in any way. But there's definitely been times where things have been more difficult in that sense. But as far as being a woman physician, I'm, again, too blessed to be in this area and to be and see other female physicians continue to grow in their careers and be shining stars and to consider them colleagues or to have trained under or beside them. So that's pretty inspiring, as difficult as it can be.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just kind of reading through some of my notes on, I was like, I know I got one of these where I was really, we kind of talked about. So as medical students, stress is often centered around exams, performance metrics, improving competence. As an attending physician, stress shifts towards life or death responsibility, patient outcomes, and legal liability. You're not necessarily in the life. Well, no, I don't want to say it like that, because that's not entirely true. It's not that you're not in the life or death situations. You very much are, because mental health is very much life or death in some cases. But do you in your position, do you feel like you have to weigh the legality of your position at all and
do.
helping your patients?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because again, I work in a hospital setting and in the acute setting, oftentimes in the emergency room or our assessment unit. And you need to triage, make decisions at that point in time to see if somebody's an imminent risk to themselves or somebody else, if they would benefit from being hospitalized, if they voluntarily want to or not.
Right.
And if they don't, is this somebody I can safely let go back home or out into the community? And if I say yes, then I'm taking some responsibility and legality there.
I can see that being a very pressury, just, oh man, this is not going to be fun.
Very much, and that changes from when you're a medical student or a resident physician in training to when you're the attending, because you've got that extra level of responsibility kind of lifted from you when you're in training, knowing that there's an attending above you that will ultimately have the final call or will get the final legal or financial backlash from a decision that might not work out. So that responsibility is mine or ours now as we become attendings.
Oh my. Do you find Lady Poetic bleeding into your professional career at all?
That's a really interesting question. That is the question. I started social media accounts for Lady Poetic specifically just shy of about 3 years ago. And I try to solely keep them just for the music and for Lady Poetic and be very stringent and detailed to keep church and state separated. Yeah. And for no real reason other than maybe privacy or a low profile approach, nothing that made any other sense otherwise for what I was doing in either field.
Right.
And so I find myself kind of blending and melding the two, or wanting to do that now from a professional standpoint, because there is so much in music and medicine. And but I'm always very careful about not to let one interfere with the other, so to speak. But my department and my career in medicine they know what I do. Yeah. So the average person who may listen to Lady Poetic on the radio has no idea what the person or behind the artist does, no idea. But the world of medicine knows that I do hip hop and that I'm Lady Poetic, and they have welcomed me with open arms. Perform at our summer picnics, perform at our holiday parties, come to Boss's Day and do a private performance. So they embrace that and they welcome that for me, and that's why I know I'm exactly where I need to be.
It's almost kind of like a Patch Adams, but not a clown, obviously. But that's kind of the vibe.
Not all
that's
the
what
time.
I'm wondering. Is like, is it coming over enough to where your patients are like, are they finding out that you do hip hop? No, they're like, I don't know anything about other than that. I go and see her, and that's it.
No, that's it. But some of my trainees, they know now at a little bit, but they've also read my book. Yeah. And so I give them this book. I give them a chance to read this book. Learn from me. Please learn from my mistakes.
Yes,
that's part of why I'm here, and I'm in a teaching environment and not doing private practice or just working part-time or one day here or there. I'm here so I can train and help teach and let you please learn from my mistakes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to just keep focusing on your medical, because you're more than a doctor. You're more than a hip hop artist. You're more than a writer. You're all the above. So let's talk about your music a little more. Now, a question I would normally ask if I had you on 5-minute showcases: what were you thinking about? I know what Kicks is about. Kicks is about shoes. And now I kind of purposely put Puppet Master kind of in the middle because it seemed to fit in with what we were discussing with the burnout and things like that. So is that where you were in line with writing it?
It was. So real quick, shout out to Unique One on the production for Puppet Master. That's our producer from Australia. So he gave me this beat to work with. And when I first heard it, I really wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. But I know I really loved it. I loved the cello and the strings and the sound. I'm like, oh, this is a really gorgeous beat. And it's pretty dark, actually, a little bit. So I really want to do it justice. And then September 17th, I listened to the beat and I picked up the pen, and the whole song just kind of came to me at that point. And I think it was everything that had been manifesting and building up from burning out that I thought that maybe I had healed from, which I really didn't. And it was just kind of sitting there simmering low key this whole time, just kind of eating away at me. And I could just feel it lifting as I'm writing the lyrics, just everything just coming in and me pouring it into the song. So it was extraordinarily cathartic in that sense. But yeah, the Puppet Master is a reflection of from basic sciences to burnout, what I carried through to get through that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely getting a lot of definitely a lot of feeling in there as far as I got to get this out. I'm just grinding through this right now. If I get to the other side, then I can see the light and I can do what I need to do. And at this point, that's where you're at. You said, I'm comfortable in my career. When you go in every day and do your job or go into a show, you're like, I know exactly what it is I need to be doing here.
Yes.
How do you feel during shows?
Every single show, performance, lecture, whatever it may be, I'm nervous before everyone like it's the first time. I am sweating before it like it's the first time. Sometimes I'm in a low-key panic attack the whole time. Yes. So I get nervous, stage fright before every single performance or lecture that I give.
What pulls you through it?
I don't know. I have to do this. I'm not going to give myself any other choice. Yeah. I'm signed up to do it. I'm doing it no matter what. I will not let my anxiety preclude me from any opportunity, no matter what.
So if they want to read your book, if they want to listen to your music, if they want to come make an appointment, where can they see you?
That's great. Thank you. So the From Basic Sciences to Burnout novel is available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. It's available in a paperback and a hardcover. I do also personally have some copies myself. You could directly message me.
She kindly gifted me a copy.
Yes, absolutely.
And she signed it.
I could probably, now that we're kind of bridging and merging the two fields here, I could probably put these books up on my Bandcamp.
There you go.
Because that's where you can go to find my music and my merchandise for Lady Poetic.
Fantastic.
And YouTube too. I've got a YouTube channel. That's where I put all of my homemade music videos and lyric videos. So between Bandcamp and YouTube, that's where I would direct you to find and explore more of my music and merchandise.
Awesome. Okay, so if you had any kind of advice to give anybody who's like, I'm going to do the most difficult thing and work in the medical field, but also bleed out into creativity or vice versa, however that starts, what would be some advice you would give?
Go for it. Just absolutely go for it. Know where your support lies. Know what you're capable of. Know if there's going to be a point of no return or not. And maybe have some backup plans. Treat yourself well. Give yourself a lot of grace and patience. Hydrate well. Practice good self-care. But go ahead and do it because we have this one lifetime. So carpe diem it. And carpe nocturne it too if you have time.
So just some quick things here, why creativity matters. So creativity activities are associated with lower levels of stress hormones such as cortisol, improved emotional regulation, increased feelings of meaning and autonomy, and reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety. For professionals in high-stress fields like medicine, creativity offers what the workplace often cannot, which is a sense of control, a way to process complex emotions safely, a space where identity is not reduced to productivity. For many women, creativity is not an escape from work. It's a survival strategy that allows them to remain whole in systems that demand constant output. Medicine versus music. Medicine often demands emotional control, restraint, and professionalism. Music and poetry invite vulnerability and emotional nuances. You feel like you do that, able to kind of give yourself over to the music a little bit?
Absolutely. It's been an incredible emotional and creative expression, and very cathartic and necessary, very necessary at times.
Hip hop has historically been male dominated. How'd you carve your space out?
I try not to think about the pronoun. I'll go get up there and spit with the big boys if I have to. I'm just a spitter, not male or female in front of it. It's what I love. I love hip hop. It's the love of my life, and it's been one of the constants in my life. It's always been welcoming of me, and wherever I've traveled in the world, I've had to travel a lot of places in order to train and do what I do. I've been able to carry it with me the whole time. Wherever I am in the world, I can listen to hip hop, or I can write or record hip hop music. I might not have family with me. I might not have a steady place to live, but I've got the hip hop music with me. So I didn't let the female ever deter that.
That's awesome. Which then was translated into the Lady Poetic Principle. It's a collection of poetry that you also have out. And this is a volume 2 that you have.
Yes.
And you said you're currently working on volume 3.
Correct.
Okay.
So, hip-hop inspired poetry and lyrics. Yes.
That's amazing. Okay. Well, if that tells you anything, it's that when you're not in control, then you can be in a different fashion. So sometimes, what do they say? forgive, or oh man, I'm going to flub this up so bad. But basically, I'm going to have to give away what I can't control, but there are things I can control. I need to focus on that. I totally butchered that. Okay. Thank you for coming on. We're going to be playing one more song here from Lady Poetic. But before we do, join us Monday, March 23rd at 7 p.m. for a new episode of Day in History, growing up Monsteria, with singer Skylar Gorzach from Monsteria. And we're going to explore what it means to grow up inside Columbia's music scene. Thank you for joining us tonight at Women's Issues, Women's Voices on 89.5 FM KOPN in Columbia, Missouri. Follow us on Facebook for shows, archives, and updates, and email us at wiwv@kopn.org. Replays are available on our Facebook page after the show airs. And up next, we'll have Kevin Walsh with Jazz Plus Blues Equals Soul. To play us out, this is Lady Poetic, We Need Your Art.
Cheers.
We're living in a culture that sidelines the creative act.
I've been waiting for this one. I've been waiting.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
AOLP blesses with some art.
Now more than ever, we need your art, your paintings, your words, what you scribbled in the dark. Less intimidating and more from your heart. We got enough discriminating, we need you to leave your mark. Now more than ever, we need your art, your paintings, your words, what you scribbled in the dark. Less intimidating and more from your heart. We got enough discriminating, we need you to leave your mark. Which way you facing? Cause over there they hating. Walk with me for just a minute, watch what we making. Crafted with our bare hands, authenticity is not forsaken. Nothing artificial in these creations. I want you to hear my human, my improvement. Join the movement, don't misconstrue it, this is just what we doing. Anything pernicious to our gifts, let's just keep on moving. Graphic artists, singers, producers, you are the future. Originality with a margin for error. Flawed so brilliantly when I look in the mirror. The tiny imperfections in my songs that I hear. See, it's giving me that character, the wearing the flair. Bearing souls and tearing holes into the algorithmic complex. Sharing stolen moments, holding up these fixer projects. Pairing goals while staring down these obstacles and nonsense. Inherently, I'm told it's all a part of the process. Now more than ever, we need your art, your paintings, your words, what you scribbled in the dark. Less intimidating and more from your heart. We got enough discriminating, we need you to leave your mark. Now more than ever, we need your art, your paintings, your words, what you scribbled in the dark. Less intimidating and more from your heart. We got enough discriminating, we need you to leave your mark. Which way you facing? Cause over there they hate. Walk with me for just a minute. Watch what we making. Videos, beats, bars for weeks. All kinds of topics from the stars to the streets. It doesn't have to be the most aesthetically impressive. The delivery and cadence growing greater, no question. When you see the effort at the most, it's suggestive. Patience becomes key and cater to the selective. Now watch us stay grounded and rooted in purpose. You might have to search, but once upon a time they heard of us. Ingenuity will surface. Forgive me as I spit this, you know I get hella nervous. It may be controversial, but not to share it would be doing you a disservice. Hey, hey. Now more than ever, we need your art, your paintings, your words, what you scribbled in the dark. Less intimidating and more from your heart. We got enough discriminating, we need you to leave your mark. Now more than ever, we need your art, your paintings, your words, what you scribbled in the dark. Less intimidating and more from your heart. We got enough discriminating, we need you to leave your mark.
Use your creations to seek the change you want in this world.
Right now, more than ever. Which way you facing? Walk with me for just a minute. Watch what we making. Videos, beats, bars for weeks. All kinds of topics from the stars to the streets. When you see the effort at the most, it's suggestive. Patient becomes key and cater to the selective. Now more than ever, we need your art, your paintings, your words, what you scribbled in the dark. Less intimidating and more from your heart. We got enough discriminating, we need you to leave your mark.
We need your art.
We need your art.
We need your art.
We need your art.
More than ever.